I want to talk a little bit about working the triangle. We talk about a lot about that as we begin to work and perceive our opponent's bodies, their energy, their time and space, where they are, and we start looking at where are those angles. I have a triangle that's here for training purposes so that I can begin to work on these movements. Part of the idea of the triangle, if I have, say, my opponent is here, and I'm working these triangles, we already have, we know to go offline, we go offline, we go offline. If I want to take him down, I go offline, I turn his body, at least the top part, and then I come through with my facet, and we throw him down. So the lines become important as we begin to look. If I'm standing here in my opponent, I may want to turn, turn, turn. And so I use this, or if I do want to do quarter turn, I turn, but now I turn and my foot's along the back, base of the triangle. So you want to be able to just play with this. It's also a good way to be able just to begin to move and feel where I need to go without overextending myself. Staying on this triangle, staying on these movements. So when you draw your triangle, now this is just painter's tape on a map. Everybody's going to be a little bit different, and so you kind of want to look at my feet are together, and I go 1, 2. That's about where I want to be. Maybe another fist, and there's another fist involved, so it extends out just a little bit more. Everybody's going to be a little bit different, but these work, and this works for me. So let's just say if I wanted to work one routine, can be as I come through, as I begin to turn, you begin to use this concept of point shoulder, which would really come in handy, but it involves where am I turning for proper orientation. And if I'm looking at, I'm going to go down this triangle line, my shoulder is now pointing to my opponent. This gives me the proper relation for this move. If I just went here, my shoulder, my upper body had not turned, well, I've also created an imbalance. We talk about primary balance points and secondary balance points, and the triangle is a good way of looking at that. If I'm standing right here, just regular stance, where my weakest is that he pushes me, I come back along this triangle. There's nothing to hold me up. Same thing if somebody pushes me, I have nothing to hold me up unless I take a step. I take a step and I change that structure. My secondary balance points, I am more stable coming off the side, and I have other balance points that hold me so that I have to take a step. And that's where we want to be able to exploit those with our opponents. We also want to make sure that we are not leaving those open for their exploitation as well. But see, one way of coming in as I begin to turn, notice I'm sinking my weight and I'm turning. I'm stepping right across this line. Now, I have to feel, what do I need to do to get this leg over here? It sounds elementary, but pay attention to the dynamics and they'll help you as you move. Notice as I sink into this front leg now, this rides up that line. I scoop if I want my sweep, and I come right down, and now this is my line of intention. I'm going to turn on. Now, in the schools of Silat that I've trained in, a lot of Japanese styles will turn on the ball of their foot, a lot of Chinese styles will also turn on the heel of their foot. It is not 100% across the board, obviously. Those are generalities that I have seen. And the Silat will tend to turn right in the middle so that I'm utilizing everything with me is being held in balance. If I lift this up, I'm still working on my heels rather than the ball of my foot. So when I come down, here is I turn, and I come up, and I sit. I turn. Now, my shoulder is pointing to this corner, so I'm going to sweep backwards. Then I'm going to turn, and notice that I should be on this line. My shoulder now is pointing towards this back corner, so I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to sweep. This is the first triangle movement that I ever teach people. And I come through. Now my shoulder's pointed, I'm going to turn. So when I come through and I turn, if I want to end it, I come back up here. So without all the conversation, back. And I said, this triangle is a little bit wider for me than it should be. Actually, I think mine's on the other mat. So it's going to not quite line up exactly. So, but it's an average that's there. Now you can also use this. That first one's what I teach everybody, but you can also just play with this. Okay? Then you forget anybody else is around. And I just begin to play. And I just want to feel the energy. So just move. Just don't think. There's nothing right or wrong. I can start from this corner, and I can move. I cover. Now I'm here. Maybe I want to drag back and do an elbow with a back fist, with a punch. Doesn't matter. My next thing is I'm looking at, if I turn, this is where my next move will go. So I'll come down. I can cover. I can strike. I can strike. I can strike. I can come through. There's my elbow. I'm going to turn and set. I can sweep down, up, settle, and we pass again. Skip. Go back the other way. So you decide. You just play. The best way you can get into this is figure out your structure. Think through it several times so that your mind will lead your body. And then just forget your thoughts. Forget whether it's right or wrong. Begin to move. You can analyze later. Don't analyze at the moment. Just begin to move. It's the best way of running this.